This past weekend was the rookie minicamp, so got a little tidbits coming out of that. And then comment of the day is something a lot of you guys have been commenting for me to talk about. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, like I said in my little stupid intro, rookie minicamps just happened. It was just this past weekend. OTAs are going to start next Monday. Organized team activities. I'll have more news and notes and breakdowns during that week. These rookie minicamps were closed to the media, so we didn't really get much. The Dolphins on their Twitter put up some videos. If I could find some, I'll pop them up while I'm talking. But yeah, rookie mini camps, it was more them getting adjusted, more them understanding the playbook. They get a little bit of a head start, and then the OTAs, and then all these other things are going to start happening. But before we jump into that, I'm going to talk about that. And then for comment of the day, like I said, a lot of you guys, when it comes to comment of the day, I read all the comments. Every single comment, I read it, especially on Twitter, on everywhere. I read all of your comments and everything. And a lot of times I get a consensus. Like a lot of you guys were like, why even give Colin Cowherd the attention, yada, yada? Because a lot of you guys were like, you should talk about this because screw him. This channel's for you guys. I do what I do because of you guys. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So when I see a big consensus of you guys saying, hey, you should talk about this, hey, you should talk about this, I talk about it because it's what you guys want. And I tend to do what you guys want. So for comment of the day, it's something that you guys keep talking about. And I'm going to address it. So you gotta wait till comment of the day, or you could just find the comment of the day section and click on it. Before we jump into that real quick, I got some new members I have to talk about. Freddie For Real, Rascal Garcia, Zachary Harris, and Ty Jenkins. Thank you so much for being new members. You guys are watching this before anyone else does because I am recording this Sunday night. It's coming out Monday at 11 a.m. and you guys are watching it as soon as I'm done. So thank you guys for joining the membership. And if anyone else wants to join the membership, just hit that join button and pick a tier, any tier, whichever one tickles your fancy tiers. So I'm going to talk about rookie minicamp, and they interviewed a lot of people over the past weekend, but I honestly think that Waddle, Phillips, and Holland were the most interesting to me. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single thing that they said. I'm not going to sit here and read every single thing that these rookies said. You can go back and you can watch the press conferences. They're on the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. But I am going to talk about a few of the things that I thought were interesting, right? So we're going to start with Jalen Waddle. And they asked him, obviously you have a history with, Tua. When you got drafted by the Dolphins, how excited were you to know that you were going to hook up with a former college teammate? And he says, I'm just excited to really be a part of the team, being part of the organization. I'm just learning new things and going out there to compete. Honestly, the call was great. I'm just trying to compete and learn to fit in. And some people were like, well, why isn't he talking up Tua? Why isn't he? And it's because you don't want to alienate yourself. You don't want to be like, me and Tua are best friends yet, because then you kind of alienate yourself from the rest of the locker room. And then you kind of look like, oh, you're just Tua's boy. You're not going to help out with the rest of the team, and you're not going to help out. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to come in and kiss butt, because he even said, have you communicated with Tua much since you've been drafted? He says, definitely. I've got questions. I call him. I give him my advice. He helps me out. I definitely talk to him. So he does talk to him. They also asked him about Tua as a leader, and he says he's a great natural leader. Honestly, he's just natural-born leader. He's confident. He knows what to do. He's very smart. Everything you look for in a leader, I feel like Tua showcases and presents. So there is no, because some people think there's some animosity between them because he wasn't really answering questions. But if you look at his, interview, he wasn't really answering questions about anything. They also asked him, you're with Raekwon Davis too. You got some Alabama guys here. What does it feel like? And he's just like, he doesn't want to seclude himself. But I will say this, right? Looking at, I'll pop the video up of him running that route. And some people always say like, what about this is whatever. His addition and bringing him in and the things that this kid can do are just going to help out this team drastically. The video I popped up of him running, stopping, and just shows that his ankle's fine, shows the speed the kid has. He's doing this in, mini camp. It's not even like a practice or anything or training camp. He's doing this in mini camp and just really showing that he's here to compete, and he's here to help this team out. So, like I said, if you go back and listen to what Jalen Waddle had to say, he didn't really go in depth on a lot of things. I just really wanted to bring up, because a lot of you guys were asking me, why isn't he really talking about Tua? And, seems like he's avoiding the question. He's not necessarily avoiding the question. I think he didn't want to seclude himself. But I do want to talk about Jalen Phillips, right? When Jalen Phillips picked his jersey number, he picked 15. And I thought that was interesting because, for one, 15, the D ends and the defensive line are still in, that number bracket that they have to stay in. But the linebackers went to be able to pick the teens and stuff, and he picked 15. And I said, that's interesting because he picked a linebacker number. And some people were like, no, that's just his college number. Not necessarily, right? So let's talk, they asked him a bunch of questions. There's a video clip, if I can get it, I'll pop it up, of him on his knees pushing the bag, right? And they asked him, what was that about? What is that type of drill that you were doing? He says, that's the 6-point drill. That's just kind of like the perennial D-line drill. That's explosive out of your hips, really focus on quick hands and hands where you're looking. And like I said, just getting explosive. I love that this kid just is smart in that, and that he understands the technique. And they asked him about Jason Taylor. He says he hasn't met Jason Taylor yet, but he definitely loved to. I don't want to say he reminds me of Jason Taylor. I haven't seen him do anything really in the pros. I haven't even seen him in practice, but he's got the body type of Jason Taylor. And then they ask him the question, right? This is what the question is, right? I noticed that you're listed as a linebacker. Again, he picked number 15. I wasn't sure if they were going to put you at linebacker, defensive end. I know it's important. Are you going to do both? How did you find out you're playing linebacker? This is what he had to say. He said, I found out, obviously, when I got here and started doing meetings and everything like that. But honestly, I'm working on a bunch of stuff right now. Obviously, the starting phase of practice is really just technique, fundamentals, and that really transitions over no matter where you're playing. Right now, I'm just learning the playbook and fit in where I can. And that makes sense, right? To do that, to take a D end and ask him to play linebacker isn't as hard as asking an outside linebacker. Like if we took Azeez Ojulari and said, you're just going to be a 4-3 D end. It's a little different trying to be a 3-4 outside linebacker to a 4-3 D end. And that's kind of what we did with Charles Harris. Tried to take him in what he did and what he was good at and jam it. We tried to take a circle, toy and try to put it in a square peg, a circle peg in a square hole. You know what I'm saying? This is a little different. And obviously because he's played linebacker at UCLA, and they asked him that. How does that transition help you in the process? Because it definitely helps a little bit. Just having fundamental knowledge of it. Obviously, I haven't done it in a year. Like in Miami, I was obviously a lot more 4 down, hands in the dirt. But honestly, it's nice because I feel like I'm more versatile having experienced both. It's a whole new system though. So a lot of this stuff translates, but a lot of it is new verbiage, new techniques, everything like that. I'm just learning the new playbook and trying to do whatever I can. They're going to ask him sometimes to probably drop back into coverage to mess with the offensive line. Is he going to be a consistent, linebacker? Is he going to be the Dolphins, outside linebacker, with Vince Beagle, with, Andrew Van Ginkel? Probably not. He's probably going to have his hand in the ground more than he is going to be standing up. But what Brian Flores does is he asks you, I just need you to learn these positions. Because if I need you to play this position, I want you to be able to do it to the best of your ability. That's all he was trying to do with Mika Fitzpatrick. A lot of people that, even he said, I'm not in the box safety. I don't want to be. We understand that. But say we want to blitz you. Say we want to use you in that situation. We want you to be able to do it to the best of your ability. And that's what Brian Flores does. He's going to put you in a situation that's going to mess with the offense and also get you to do the best you can. And that's what they'll do with Jalen Phillips, right? If he's consistently getting after the quarterback, consistently pressuring the quarterback and doing all that stuff, they're going to start sliding the coverage to his side. We got to man double Jalen Phillips. We got to crack him with the tight end. We have to put a running back on that side. We have to do something for Jalen Phillips. And what will Brian Flores do? And, the defensive coordinator? Okay, well, now you're going to drop back into coverage. And all of a sudden, you have all of this protection to one side, and he's dropping back into coverage. And we send a blitz from the other side. All that covered, all that in the wide open. See? So that's what he does, right? He asks you, can you just learn these positions? You're not going to permanently play there, but if we need to move you, think of like a Jadeveon Clowney situation, right? They also asked him about his weight, which I thought was weird. They, asked him, is there a weight that the coaches asked you to be to play linebacker? He says, yeah, for me, they haven't told me specific weight that they need me at yet. I think we'll probably get into that as we do more body composition stuff and everything like that. But for me, it's going to be the weight I feel more comfortable with, obviously being heavy and sturdy as I can, but also as fast as I can. I'm definitely comfortable where I am right now. I'm trying to be lean and get stronger. I don't think they're going to ask him to be a certain weight. And I don't think they're going to ask him to do that like I said 5 seconds ago. He's not going to just be a linebacker. They're going to move him around. Then the last guy I want to talk about is Jevon Holland, the safety, because a lot of people, we don't know where Jevon's going to be playing, right? Bobby McCain's gone. We released Bobby McCain. He's now with Washington. I'm very happy for him. I hope he does fantastic with Washington. I always loved Bobby McCain. Is Jevon Holland going to take Bobby McCain's spot? Is McCourty going to take Bobby McCain's spot? Is Brandon Jones going to take Bobby McCain's spot? What is the situation? Now, again, the Dolphins secondary and the Dolphins defense is just an amalgamation, fluidity of moving pieces, and messes with the opposing defense. Look at how bad it messed with the rookie Justin Herbert when we faced him, to the point where for a whole drive, they ran the ball because the Chargers head coach was afraid he was going to throw an interception, which he ended up doing. Cost him the game. So that's the defense that, Brian Flores gets going, right? So he asked, have you talked to, Josh Boyer, our defensive coordinator? Are you going to learn in both safety and corner? Obviously, you have a success both at Oregon. I'm trying to absorb as much knowledge as possible, really, and wherever Coach Boyer wants me, I'm just trying to help the team win. Just side note, I love the Jevon Holland pick. But again, that's the situation. You're going to be learning multiple positions to be moved around. Will he be playing slot corner? Will it be, him up playing in the box? He's very good at that. Then they asked him about what Brian Flores had to say about Jevon Holland. Essentially, after they drafted him, Brian Flores says he believes he has the ability to quarterback a defense. And then they asked, can you tell me what that means? And Jevon says, I think learning as much as possible about the defense, then having the team mentality is definitely, I don't know why I can't talk, what goes into that. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, of course, trying to absorb as much knowledge. So again, that's what the mini camps are. The mini camps essentially are you're just trying to understand the playbook. You're just going through the motion. There's no contact. It's all just walking around and doing, all that stuff. They asked him about opting out and how does he feel about it. He says, I feel fine. I'm in a rookie class. I'm absorbing it. I feel fine. Thanks. Moved on. And then they also asked him, are you in shape? And he says, like many of you know, Miami is abnormally hot, and I've been on the West Coast my entire life. I've never been to Florida, so it's a different type of heat. I tried to stay in as much shape as possible. They also asked him a good football question. They asked him, when you're playing center field, what advantage can that provide for a defensive back? He says the advantages come from understanding and knowing the plays and the defensive scheme that comes from the meetings. And so really that's all comes from absorbing as much knowledge as possible. And it's incredibly important as a safety. And this kid, Jevon Holland, is very, very smart safety. You need to understand the defense. That's why, if you notice, Brian Flores called him, he could be the quarterback of this defense because he's very smart. And you need to understand the defense. You need to understand where, what if it's a zone, right? Say it's, cover 2, cover 3, whatever. Where Byron's going to be, where Xavier's going to be, where Eric Rowe is going to be, where all these guys zones are going to be, so you don't blow the coverage. If you see a guy running past you, you have to stay with him. If you see a guy cut in front of you, do you know if, McKinney is going to drop back and cover him? Do you know if Eric Rowe is going to take him? You need to understand that. And that's essentially what they're asking there. You're playing the deep safety. You're playing center field. You're seeing everything. You got to make sure you understand everything. But what I'm taking from rookie minicamp, there's not much. There's not much to take from rookie minicamp. But Waddle, I'm excited. I'm very excited for Waddle to see what he can do there. Jalen Phillips doing both linebacker and defensive end. I'm really interested to see that in Holland. I want to see where he plays. I think that's the biggest thing that came out and the biggest questions that came out of rookie minicamp is where is Holland and Phillips playing, and what is it going to look like? So I'm very excited. Be sure to comment below. I know this video was mostly me kind of talking about what these guys had to say and give you my opinion on it. But be sure to comment below. What do you think about this? What do you think about Phillips, learning the linebacker situation? What do you think about Holland and being that, amalgamation in the secondary? And what do you think about Waddle and trying to keep a distance, not being so buddy-buddy with Tua, but also they talk. They definitely talk. Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to comment of the day. Now, for comment of the day, I said to you guys that I read all the comments. And one of them that I kept getting, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about this? Everyone seems to be talking about this, and that is Aaron Rodgers, right? There's the whole situation with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and there's this story over here, but then there's this story over here. Then Aaron Rodgers is mad, but then he's actually not mad, and that's why I'm not talking about it. And personally, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere, and if he does go somewhere, I think he's going to the Denver Broncos. Go watch Tom Grassi's YouTube channel. He really breaks it down perfectly. So I honestly don't think Aaron Rodgers is in the conversation to come to Miami. Some people who don't like Tua, or some people who think that piece adding will make us instant Super Bowl favorites do. But I don't. And I'm going to explain why. Because, again, a lot of people say, Rodgers, why aren't you talking about Rodgers? Why? Well, here. If the Dolphins add Aaron Rodgers, right, does that make the Dolphins an instant Super Bowl success, instant Super Bowl team? And a lot of people equate that to, well, look what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did with Tom Brady. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were literally a quarterback away from a Super Bowl, hence them winning the Super Bowl. Is the Miami Dolphins a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl? This might piss some of you guys off. No. We don't know what the offensive line looks like. We don't know what the running back core looks like. We don't know if the pass rush is going to be consistent enough. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a consistent defense, a consistent pass rush. They had the offensive line. They had the wide receivers. They had the running game. They had everything. They just didn't have the quarterback. They had Jameis Winston. Then they had all. You plug Tom Brady in. He just had to keep doing what he did in New England, which is don't mess anything up and get a Super Bowl. And that's what he did. You look at Aaron Rodgers, right? The Packers, I'll let you answer it in the comment section. If you look at just the offense of the Dolphins and just the offense of the Packers last year, who had the better offense? And if you said the Dolphins, I don't know what to tell you, because the Packers had a better run game, better wide receivers, better offensive line play. And they didn't get to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. What makes you think plugging him into the Dolphins is going to get him to the Super Bowl? He's 37, and nowadays quarterbacks can play forever, but he also has a lot of things going on outside of the NFL. So I say that he gives us 3 years, right? There is no guarantee, absolutely no guarantee that he will get the Dolphins to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years if they traded for him. So essentially you need to trade away Tua. He ain't going to the Packers, though, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to sit 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. So you'd have to trade away Tua and then essentially hope and pray that Aaron Rodgers gets us to the Super Bowl. And if he doesn't, you have to start all over again. You literally took your plan that you had for the past 2 years and you threw it in the garbage, and then you brought in Aaron Rodgers. And if he doesn't get you to the Super Bowl in 3 years, you're throwing that away, and then you got to find a quarterback. Now, this is what I think. Now, is Tua the answer? I don't know yet. And that's the thing. Say we get Aaron Rodgers and we ship Tua away, and Tua goes to another team. He all of a sudden becomes this Pro Bowl elite quarterback. And I know the Tua haters are going to be like, that's never going to happen. I watched him play last year. But he goes and he becomes this great quarterback. He turns into like a Brett Favre who got traded from the Falcons, or, you know, all these types of quarterbacks. And he becomes really, really good. And we're sitting there like, this organization sucks. We let Tua go, and look what happened. And now we're sitting here. Blah, blah. That's exactly what would happen, right? We don't know. Now, my mindset on Tua has always been the same, right? This year, we see what he can do. If he doesn't show he can get better, we have 2 first-round picks in 2023. Give the kid time. If by 2023's draft, he has not gotten any better and he has stayed exactly the same, we use those 2 first-round picks to get the quarterback. That's what the Dolphins did. And that's why when they traded up to get, back into 6, they only gave up next year's first. And they kept the 2 ones for 2023. They're going to give Tua some time. Now, and there's also this. Trying to trade for Deshaun Watson versus trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers is 2 different things. Deshaun Watson is only, 25? He's got a long career ahead of him. Minimum 9 years ahead of him to play football. Minimum. Like I said, 34. He can go longer. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that long. So if you ask me, hey, we just traded for Deshaun Watson, how do you feel? That's a little different. Top 5 quarterback, still in his prime, 25 years old. There's still a chance to do what we've been doing, which is building a young, consistent team behind him. But Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, you got 3 years. You don't do it in 3 years, you kind of just wasted all that time. Why not continue to build what you're doing? Let me preference something, because I know I'm going to get the comments below before I end the video. I love Aaron Rodgers. If you go back and listen to me talk about Fitzpatrick, you go back and listen to me talk about having an elite quarterback that can boost up the rest of your team, that's Aaron Rodgers. And I absolutely love Aaron Rodgers. It just doesn't make sense for the Dolphins to go after him right now. You might be like, that's dumb. But again, I don't think he makes us an instant Super Bowl team. We don't know what the rest of the team can look like. When he boosted the team around him, when they had no wide receivers, when they had no offensive line, when they had no running back and they had Montgomery as their running back, he did as best as he could, and he still had a really good season, but they didn't get anywhere. It's not always on the quarterback. Ask Dan Marino about that. So I addressed it. And Deshaun Watson, more news came out about that. I'm not talking about it anymore. If Deshaun Watson gets traded to the Dolphins, I'll talk about it. You guys know how I feel about it. I literally said it in this little spiel, so I'm not talking about it anymore. But tomorrow, not tomorrow. You're watching this on Monday. On Wednesday, I'm going to do the camp battle for running backs. And I think on Friday, I'm going to do another Miami Dolphins Mythbuster. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Also, check out Patch Vibes. Use the promo code DDW. Get yourself 20% off. Has some great stuff over there. Not only Dolphin stuff, they have some really cool Patch Vibes stuff. Check out Miami Sports Music. Great YouTube channel and website that I'm a part of. TD's a part of. A lot of great podcasters are a part of. Other than that, guys, I'll see you Wednesday. But if news breaks, like I said, you'll normally get it from me. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.